you doing? Hopefully it's going smoothly in your world. I have logged in and I'm checking to see if I have various totems running. So far it seems like I do. I think I'm still in my crafting gear, hopefully. Not in my crafting gear, rather, hopefully. So that's good. Let's see what I've got here. In this world, in this split paw den. See if we can find. Okay, we got a few in the drowned cabins. We got the outer grotto, hot water. And then unknown. Those are all gonna be in this outer grotto here. Now that's the heroic one. Is there a non-heroic version of outer grotto? I don't think that there is, but maybe there is. Don't know. But yeah, I don't see anything for that. Just looking around on the map real quick here at various quest starters and things like that. Unexpected support. I don't know which quest that is. Stone supplies. I think they mean stolen supplies. That's alright. I don't know. I may just want to leave here for now and then come back later with someone else. Character, maybe. See what the Darkened Shard says. Need to find out what's happening to the Split Barnos. I think that this is just doing more quests for them. I think that's the step that I'm on right now. I don't know which quest I should be working on of these. I mean, I think in order to get the faction up, you just do you do these quests over and over again, the ones that are just available here. And I don't remember if ultimately you're trying to get your faction up with them to a certain point. I think. But yeah, the part that I've gotten to is the part where you get the teleportation shard back to here, which isn't that one, that's the initial one. A glowing azure shard. That one, it'll teleport you from anywhere that you are to this split pod den. So it can be one way that you can get over to this area, but the problem is then you're in the den, and it's just as good to really run over from wherever. It just depends on what you're trying to do, but the question here is what I'm trying to do, because I don't really know. I think I'm just gonna call out. By the way, we've got a few more days of 14% server bonus to our XP. So if you're trying to level a crafter up, if you're just trying to level your character up, now's a good time to do that on Origins. So, all right. So with that in mind, I think I'm gonna call over and do a little bit of crafting, because my crafting vitality is at 27.7. And I feel like I can go a little more toward making level with that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even need to clear out my inventory right now. So let me just pop on into our guild house. And I know that I know that people have been doing a lot of crafting, so I'm gonna see what it looks like. I mean, as far as supplies go, I'll just come over here. Oh, look, somebody mounted a board head in here. But anyway, I'll come over here and have a look and see what things look like. Alright, we're a little low on diamond beam, so I probably won't actually be able to get too far into that right now. And maybe I am not going to do that simply because I don't want to waste the materials that other people can use to level their crafters when I can do other things instead. Let's see where I might want to head. You know what? I think I was going to go work on some quests in Enchanted Lands. I think that was my next location. I'm just wandering around. I don't know what I'm doing apparently. Now we don't want to save this layout. We want to leave the house. We'll probably head over to Enchanted Lands. That makes sense to me. Make sure I don't need to do anything in town first, because it's not great to get out there into the middle of nowhere only to realize that you failed to do something, in North Kinos, for instance, like this. But this is wrong. It thinks I'm in North Kinos, but realistically, none of these quests are in North Kinos. And I'll uncheck these, because we don't need them taken from... No, by the way, you can uncheck a quest from your quest journal, like I just did. But you can also just uncheck it from the quest helper window over here, where these are. I don't know if you can see that lighting up on the upper right-hand side. But you can uncheck them right there, in that upper right corner. Just like that. But let's see, it looks to me as though I'm pretty good on that. I don't seem to need anything. I ought to have grabbed some of this stuff. I think I was in Everfrost the other day after I got this, put Thing to rest. And I know I was in Enchanted Lands, so yeah, I should definitely have gotten those. But that's not the way things go. So, alright. Let's see here. Let's just make sure that I don't need anything from this guy real quick. Okay, I don't. All is well. And now, off.
Hello there. Can I interest you in some
Now, to get to Enchanted Lands, I could just go to Kino's Harbor. You know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I will do that today. I normally do not use the Harbor Master because, I just don't really see a whole lot of reason to pay 90 silver for a few minutes cut off of running over to the docks. But I will do it because, I'm gonna go over to Enchanted Lands, which is on Neck Docks.
Go on, take a look
And
at
it just
You'll
feels worth it to me right now. So, now the important thing to note is, like I said, the ticket for sea travel must be used before camping or leaving the zone. So if you pick up a Harbor Master ticket, be sure to come right over to this bell. So, here we are, very end of the docks. This bell here. And take this one. And that way, you don't end up losing your ticket. It would be a shame to spend that 90 silver and then you don't even get to go because you camped out or because you zoned accidentally with the wrong thought. So be sure to click the right bell and be a happier, healthier person in Nora, Alright, so we've made our way over here. Now, I know that I have picked up a variety of different things. Looks like I need some seamless sprites for a Farsi's requisition. I need, this is going to be just various berries and sirens along the beach area. Drop those. Then we've got, this is just visit this place and that place. And so is this one. This one is Finding and Spooking Square Rust Bucket. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and check that because I don't have a lot of quests in this area, and it'll be okay to have that there. Spearfish is another one. Still need some of those. It's another Farsi's requisition, not that important. And then we've got Old Foobies, which is Foobies is a very important quest. You end up with a 20 slotted bag by the time you're done with it, which is not too shabby if you ask me. Um, right now, my largest bag is this large collector's pouch. Someone had asked me where I got it. It is, I believe, the Enchanted Maple Leaf collection. So if you're looking for a larger bag on this server, it's a 24 slot bag, and it comes from completing the Enchanted Maple Leaf collection. You'll notice I had a look at that book page laying on the ground over there, and then I did not get it. It's because it's a no trade page. So if I got it, I would just have to delete it. That's not the worst thing ever, because it's not a big deal to delete it. I just don't see any reason to do it when I'm not really like it doesn't matter to me. The only reason I would do it is if I was hunting those pages specifically right now, and I wanted another one to spawn so that I could get something that I need. But that's not really the situation right now. I'm not in any great hurry to get any particular collection at the moment. I do want this siren, however, for the quests that we've got going on with that. So, I'm going to go ahead and knock these guys out real quick. This is for the, let's see, start of something big. I'm looking for rangers masks, and maybe these folks can supply those, because maybe they stole them. Who knows? Looks like that did an update, but I still need a ranger's mask, so we got a little bit of an update on that. Gonna see if we can get another one, and here's a spearfish too, so grab all these three, and we'll see how that goes. My screen on the other side kind of disappeared there for a second, so I had to get back over there and refresh that on the Twitch screen. So you saw that I was getting slaughtered over here. That's partially why. Yeah, recovered the stolen artifacts. Excellent. Just what I was going for, recovery of things. I didn't get any siren parts. That's unfortunate. Not the worst thing that's ever happened, but could have been better. Alright, so at this point, I could get some CMS sprites. May as well on my way. That one is one of the Farsi requisitions that I have right now. Those are always good to do. Certainly not imperative by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a nice thing to knock out, especially while you're in the area, No sense in getting that book page because I have already established that it's a no-trade item that I don't need. Let's get this here sea mist sprite out of the way. And we need a total of 10 of those, which is pretty easy to come by. I'm not in any great hurry, but if I see them on the way, I may as well grab them. I also see that I deleted this repeatable at some point, probably to pick up this football quest, and I can't pick it back up right now. So let's pop over to Netherbrine.
Well met.
He says, how's it going? Or she says, how's it going? Any luck getting back the artifacts? And I say, here you go. Jesus, this is wonderful. It brings tears to my eye to see someone else helping me bring our historical museum to life. Thank you. I say you're welcome. And now I go through here and I look at these interesting hats that are on offer for me. And scroll over them so that you two can see them. And then let's see. I'm gonna look at this manifested terror coif. I do like it. It's nice. It's 9 strength. The mitigation is lacking, unfortunately, but I do like the strength on that. It's a nice number. And for a level 30 item, it's very good. I'm gonna take it.
Well
Okay.
met.
You got another update. How can I help you? She says, and I say, I'm curious how your museum is coming. She says, actually, I've been wondering since you were so helpful and all, if you wouldn't mind scouting out some locations for the museum. I picked out some likely spots, but I can't get any of the other deputies to help me. I say, I guess I can do that. She says, I appreciate it, friend. Here you go. I jotted down all the places I think would work best. Just mark down what you think of them, good or bad. You have no idea how much this means to me. And I say, I'll be back. All right, Bay Island. Well, we know where that is. Easy enough, right? So off we go to get our update for that because, hey, may as well. And honestly, I ought to have this on and grab these CMS sprites as I see them pop up onto the screen. So this will be a dual purpose thing. Get some CMS sprites, get some update there. Good times had by all, right? Also need the spearfish. Can't forget about those. While I'm over here, no more on track this time right over here. But a better runner along the beach. Ooh, look at that. Another seamless sprite. That didn't take long at all. So, I was going to say I should run along the beach line so that if I see any of these spearfish, I can grab them on my way as well. Gotta knock those Farsees requisitions out somehow.
That was my friend.
I don't mind repeating the Farsees requisitions, but I will if I have room to and I'm in the area or something like that. But I don't really need to, for any reason. And I don't have, let's say I don't have any inclination, natural inclination to do so. Because I find that they fill up my bags. So if I've done them before, I don't really care about doing them again. I'm not against it if I have the room in my journal. But that's the biggest issue is that I often do not have the room in my journal. There's a spearfish. Check that out. I'm really not a big fan of hunting in the water until, at least until I have water breathing. Even when I do have water breathing, it's honestly not my favorite thing, but it's okay. It's acceptable. I just don't like getting rooted by these various terrible creatures and then drown. It's just not my idea of a good time overall. But also, I hate how when you get a box, you get a chest to drop, and the creatures in the water, then you have to swim down to the bottom, and it can be pretty deep, depending on which water you're in. So you have to swim pretty far sometimes in order to get your rewards. And that seems a little off, Not a big fan of it. I certainly do not love it. So, we're about to get on to Bay Island. Get that update. Here we are. Let's see, this is Bay Island. And we got that update. There it is. Looks like a good place, but they'll have to build a bridge to it. That's my assessment of this place. Very nice little area. Now, I ran that time that direction. This time, I think I'll run the other direction just to increase my chances to see those sea mist sprites on track. And we'll grab those. I don't know that there are any spearfish on this side of the water. I'm not sure. Let's see, it looks like these are veilfish trout over here. Which makes some sense. I think did I come over here prior? I don't know, for the waterfall update or something. I'm not sure if I did or not. I'm going to come check and see if I did. Probably already got this, but let's swim all the way back. There we go. I feel like that's an update for one of the locations, plus I cannot remember for sure. But anyway, I figure I'll go run over there while I'm in the area. So far, no luck on the sea mist sprites or on any extra shinies that I might have been able to pick up on this route. And now there's another repeatable right there at Sarma Simmer Bellows. But alas, I'm not capable of doing that right now because I don't have the room in my quest journal. Sad times. By the way, this was the update. Here it is. The River Watch. Nice view, but too small for a museum. It's right over here. Let's see here. If we want to look on that quest a bit, I guess I better go toward, Greenery Hill, right? Which I think is this direction. I think I know where that is. Ooh, look, there's a non-repeatable that I also can't get. Amazing. I really want that shiny. And that's why I'm invising into this disaster area over here. There's also a book over here, but I don't care as much about the book pages. I typically come across this more often, and so I'm less interested. The dude in this is inside this little area here, but I can't get it yet because again, my quest journal is full. So alas, there are worse things. Certainly. I guess I better not get that shiny. Wanted to, but I better not. Alright, now. Moving onward. We've got... That was the, running out of ward has potential, but... sorry, I missed part of that message. But we want to go over to Greenery Hill, basically. As I recall. And I guess that's the last place we have to go for this particular quest. And it doesn't seem to be updating. Did I get the wrong hill? Perhaps I did. Heck, I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking this was Greenery Hill, but maybe not. Maybe not. There are some things in here. If you've not been in here before, there's some, that was I believe that was a shiny right there. And there's another one right here. And I don't want to grab them because they're no trade. And if I grab them, then that's going to keep somebody else from being able to get them for a while. Because they don't become able to click, let's say, for a few minutes. Okay, so that was Granary Hill. I just had to run to the right spot, which I think was weirdly back behind here. It looked like it was over here, the update point. I knew that was Granary Hill. Man, that was weird. Alright, so Granary Hill. Now we can go back and report to Deputy Nettlebrine near the Enchanted Lands docks. It's our next goal in life. In fact, I'm going to go toward the beach so that I can kill any spearfish that are near the beach line as I go. Got yet another silver coin there. Seems to be a common theme. Harvest a shiny. Get one of those silver coins. This fellow here, Layla Yekel rather, is the person that you want to talk to in order to get the Reaching Blade of the Assassin. Reaching Blade of Assassin is a level 30-something heritage quest. Takes you in, first of all, to Freeport. I think it's West Freeport, the update. You can go in through the sewers, Ocean Ocean. And so you go in there and you talk to a fellow. And then he'll send you over to Kinos, I think North Kinos, as I recall. And you've got to go talk to a little dude in the back room over there. It's pretty cool, actually. And get a little information. And then you end up going after some assassins. And that's the step I'm on right now. The assassin got in the trail, and they kind of just spawn on you. They're not there until all of a sudden go around the corner, and then they pop on you from behind, typically. And there you are, in a fight with a couple of level 40 something, level 41, I think, assassins who want nothing less than your blood on their knife, you know? So, it's a good time. And I haven't done that stuff yet. I have met the assassins a couple of times, or at least once in there. But I didn't have any real interest in dying to them, so I ran away. I don't think that they killed me at all yet, but they certainly would have had I given them the opportunity. Let's talk to Deputy Middlebrine.
Greetings.
She says, have you had time to look at those locations? And I say, yes, I have. She says, thanks so much. Your help brings us so much closer to building our museum. I say, you're welcome. All right, now, an ad is starting in 53 seconds. There's a little warning there. All right, then we talk to Deputy Middlebrine again.
Well
She
met.
says, how can I help you? I say, I haven't seen any museum construction yet. She says, true enough. If it's not one thing, it's another. When I finish my shifts here, I go through the items donated to the cause. Most of them are self-explanatory, but there's one or two that I can't figure out. I say I can help you. She says, please take this thing. It looks as though it's missing several pieces. Maybe if you find them and put it together again, you'll know what it is. I say, all right, I'll give it a go. And isn't it interesting to be looking for pieces for something that you don't know what is? So how do you find the pieces if you don't know what it is? But let's read. After studying the unusual object, you believe it is a type of weapon. Perhaps it can be rebuilt. It's too short to be part of a sword. Parts of it are very likely embedded in the creatures of the enchanted lands. Parallel lines of deep scratches on the object remind you of a bear's claw marks. Put the object away. And so our conclusion from this, in our great wisdom, is to just go hunt some random bears all over the place and, hope we find one that has parts that we think might go to this. So, off we go. Now, we don't have any particular bear cubs in mind, or bear kinds in mind. It's completely, well, no, it isn't completely random. It is, in fact, cubs. For some reason, we think those marks were made by a bear fox cub. I'm assuming that must mean they must be small. I think that's difficult to determine, probably. I mean, what do I know? Copernicus, the expert here, not me. I mean, I don't know. Bear claw marks on something that you think might be a weapon. And yet, Copernicus says this is definitely from possibly a Braveheart cub. Very specific, probably, that we have here. And it's working out so far. We are finding pieces of the unusual objects. So our tracking skills are on point, honestly. Doing great. Finding the random Braveheart cub that apparently pretty recently did this, because these cubs are still cubs, and they do in fact have the items occasionally. Multiple of the cubs. So we've got something that might be a sword, and it has markings small enough to be a Bradpaw cub, claw mark, but there's at least three, and we know that because we're very, very good trackers. And so, impressive. Now we examine the objects and weigh that. After studying the unusual object, you believe it is a type of weapon. Perhaps it can be rebuilt. It's too short to be part of a sword. Parts of it are very likely embedded in features of the enchanted lands. Parallel lines of deep scratches on the object remind you of a bear's claw marks. Alright, now that's what the initial thing had said. Now you'll note, it says, remind you of a bear's claw marks, right? But then we had to get 3 different updates from 3 different bears. It's interesting. Don't know what to think about that. But we're going to go to the next step, which says, compare the new objects to the one in your possession. You line the objects side by side and realize you have the handle, blade, and crossbars of a guitar. While you're confident you can put it together, you want to lash the pieces together to add stability until permanent repairs can be made. You wish you'd kept some of the leather from the briar paws in which you found the pieces. Looks like you'll be visiting the briar paws again. Now, that's exciting. We're going to be doing, again, briar paw cubs specifically. Also of note, we're planning to lash together parts of a weapon and go with it as is. So what we're talking about doing is just sort of tying the weapon together with stuff, right? We're just gonna tie a guitar together and then presumably use it or give it to someone else to use. Like, here, this is actually pretty much good enough, and what more could you actually want? We found this with, briar cub residue. Well, okay, leather strips, to be fair. We're not even using this, and I don't know which would be better. I'm not a weapons maker myself, but I feel like, I don't know. It feels like we could probably do better than, like, tying all of this together with leather strips. It says to add stability, so hopefully that means that we're doing something more than simply tying it together. It makes me hope so, at the very least. But, we can't be sure. The decisions made are not always the best for Copernicus. He's not known far and wide for his great, wisdom overall. We only need 2 more updates on the Barclaw Cubs. Did not see any over there. There could be some on the other side of the area there. And, of course, there's the old greenery hill over here. And often there are bears wandering around there. Let's see if we've got any Barclaw Cubs wandering around over there right now. I think there's a decent possibility. So far, I just see the unseasoned briar paws, and maybe that's all that comes here. I don't recall. I thought that there were some cubs. There are some cubs. Okay. Good, good. My memory served me after all. You never know about it, memory. It comes and goes, and you can't really predict at what point you'll have it available at your disposal. Alright, we're very close. There it is. Now we can examine the objects again. We're just gonna tie this sucker together. It's gonna be fun. Now we're gonna attach the crossbars to the handles. After a bit of trial and error, you manage to attach the crossbars to the handle. It's a little disturbing that you're going with trial and error on this, but okay, go ahead. Securing them in place with an artistic, if you do say so yourself, and practical lashing of thin leather strips. The leather will keep the pieces from scattering until you've reattached the blade. Since the break is so clean, you believe the only way to reattach it would be with some sort of magical bonding agent found only on certain types of magical creatures. Wow, okay. So, good news, we're not just going to lash the whole thing together after all, we're going to use magic. And that makes a lot more sense because, hey, magic, right? We need specifically mischievous maidens, so these sea mist sprites are subpar answers to this issue that we have of this broken guitar. And we've already lashed the handle on the crossbars. We lashed the crossbars on, and now we've got to take care of these mischievous maiden. We just, apparently you can't just ask them for some of their bonding adhesive, and it makes you think that what we're doing is we're actually using part of the fairy. We're not just looting something from their bags or something like that. We actually, I think we're using part of their body, like maybe their fairy blood is particularly good for a bonding adhesive. It does make me wonder. Oh, good, another Farsi's trading requisition. Let's see if it's one we've had before. I'm gonna check this out. This would be spearfish. We absolutely have spearfish right now, so we're gonna destroy that one. Don't need it. Speaking of spearfish, why am I not checking these handy dandy beaches along the way as we get these guys? Now note that the very mischievous maidens are not going to update this quest. Only the regular mischievous maidens, which means I'm going the wrong way, excitingly. But I do want to check and see if there's any spearfish hanging around semi-close to the shore. I just don't want to go way out in the ocean and deal with them. It's no fun. No fun whatsoever. So, yeah, alright. Nothing out there too exciting. Let's head on back in towards civilization and mischievous fairies. What's interesting is we're not getting the regular fairies, we're only getting the mischievous ones. It makes you wonder, is the mischievous fairy blood better for the bonding agent? Is there something about the ones that are, troublemakers that has this magical element to it, or is it just that we would rather kill the ones that are mischievous? Maybe it soothes our conscience somewhat to feel like we're taking out the ones who are, a little bit annoying for people, possibly, right? In which case, either way, why is the very mischievous ones not on the table for this? Now it's telling us to examine the broken guitar. Now that we've identified it, it's no longer an unusual object, even though it appears to be an unusual object in our bags. We're going to examine it again. Here we go. Okay, it'll say the first thing again, and then we're going to attach the blade to the handle. It says this is the most challenging step, as the tang of the blade was snapped from the handle. You remove the thin leather strips from the handles, then heat the metal and join the pieces together. While the completed guitar may not be as strong as it once was, it is still a beautiful and deadly weapon. We put the object away. Now we are to return the guitar to Deputy Nettlebrine now it has been restored. And let us see what she has to say about our hard work, slaying slaying briar paw cubs and fairies.
Hello.
She says, any luck with that weird contraption? I say, I put it together. She says, I don't think that's that's appropriate for the type of museum we're building. It's too new. Why don't you keep it? And here we have it. And it's only usable for bruisers and monks, so just keep that in mind for funsies. And I accept that. Say, all right. And then
Hello.
she says, how can I help you? I say, just checking if you needed any more help on your museum. She says it's progressing nicely. The whole museum plan is in the committee right now, thanks to your help. I do have one other small thing you might do for me if you have the time. And I say, sure. What do you need? She says one of the deputies stationed out by the lazy train's been moping lately. His partner kind of disappeared on him, and Deputy Kigi, that's the one who's left, is a bit anxious. Maybe you might cheer him up with a visit. Oh, and he sure likes a baked badger. Maybe you could take him one as sort of a gift. And I say, a baked badger? She says, you don't have to bake it yourself, of course. Just pick one up on your way to see Deputy Kigi. He's in the wagon alongside the drain this side of the wall. And I say, no problem. And let's see here. How are these Farsi's requisitions coming? So it sure be nice. Maybe I need to go get a spearfish first so I can clear out a spot in my journal. Because he's the dude I showed you over in that little broken down wagon, I believe. And he has a quest of his own. So I would like to, I would definitely like to have a space in my journal before I go out there. And the easiest way is going to be to get that spearfish right there. Once I can find where it is. I just started it, and then I lost it. Oh my gosh, it's so rough being me, honestly, some days. I mean, I suppose I could just use track. There we are. Alright, I see what happened. It swam around behind a little dead tree. Alright, there we go. Got that, and now I can go turn it in. Also need to get the badgers. They just kind of wander hither and yon over here. And I need to get those in order to get the update from him as well. So, maybe as well do that when I see them. And of course, always shinies. Anytime you see one, anytime I see one, it's a temptation that I normally just go ahead and don't resist. Alright, Argendrodo says,
Greetings.
hey there, I see you happen to have a sack of goodies. Looks to be a requisition order to me. And I say, yes it is. Here is the order for spearfish dorsal pins. And he says, thought I smelled something bad. Phew, what a stench. That'll never leave you for weeks. And I say, at least the stench may make clear a crowded tavern. Alright, so I also hit level 42 swashbuckler with that, which is, pros and cons. Because on the one hand, I got a little bit of a level, whatever. On the other hand, it's also going to create out some requests, and also, it means that I will need to update all of my gear. As mentioned previously, I'm not quite there yet on being able to make the gear that I want. I'm level 46, 37% way in. I have almost 2 levels, in other words, before I will be able to do that kind of jewelry that I'll need for level 42. I'm going to go ahead and get this Wistad tunic. I think I already have the wraps and wrist pads, so get the tunic. And then Let's see if we can find some more sprites and some badgers for these quests. And then, theoretically, we'll finish the badgers off and be able to go update with the poor fellow in the wagon. That's the goal. The good news is these grove badgers are quite common sight over here. Maybe not quite common enough, but fairly common regardless. There's number 4 out of the 7 that I need. Don't need any of those berries right there. But we got a couple of badgers over here. I don't need any more spearfish now. That's nice. Looks like I got an incoming ad break in 30 seconds. Let's see if we can finish these off in the meanwhile, because 11 seconds from now, an ad will go off. Maybe I'll have finished the grove badgers by then. Looks like I'm going to, because this will be the last one that I need. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of the water. Again, I would rather not fight in the water for the most part. Not my favorite place. I wonder what this is. Slaphead says, is there a command if you're stuck? Can't sit or call or cast recall? Somebody responds, probably just relog. Slaphead says tried, came back in the same spot, unfortunately. Someone suggests Scotty backing. Someone else suggests a trouble ticket. Well, yeah, that's probably not the best idea under those circumstances. And then he's asking for help. Looks like somebody's going to go vacuum. So, all right, cool. Ah, but he found a way out. All is well. Delivered badgers dead. Deputy Kiki in a wagon near the lazy drain. Let's see here. Ah, this one's actually Deputy Car. So this is not the one. Oh, the lazy drain. That'll be over in the other wagon. I read it aloud twice, and yet still I didn't register it in my brain. Interesting how that works, isn't it? They always tell you to, like, write things down in order to remember them better and stuff like that. And I think that works for many people and doesn't work for other people. And the same is true for reading it aloud. That works for some better than it does others. Deputy Kiki says,
hello there.
I'm warning you. Identify yourself or pay the ultimate price. And I say, calm down, Deputy. Nettlebrand sent me with badgers. He says, have they found out what happened to Deputy Marbrook? Wait, did you say badgers? You're here to help me? I say, I am? He says, thank you. You've no idea. I've been trying to keep my eye peeled in case Deputy Marbrook returns. They came in the middle of the night and I haven't seen them since. We must kill them. I say, what have I gotten into this time? He says, they're in the water, poisoning it. I told Marbrook to stay away from them, but he wouldn't listen. Don't let them take me. I say, whoa, all right, I'll take care of them. And then it says, slay the mystical mischief makers near the Fey Isle. And so again, we are talking about fairies here. In case you had any doubt about the way that's going. The good news is I don't need the spot in my journal. And I do have this lovely Sarma Singe Fellows
See
here.
the water here? The surrounding land tries to filter as much of the evil as it can out of its life's blood. Yet we hang by a thread day by day. The goblins around here aren't helping. With the grime and muck they pour into the lakes and rivers, do you think you could put a stop to them?
And I say, sure, I'll help you.
Excellent! Goblins are tainting the water and withering the trees at a water mill by a nearby lake. I want you to destroy as many of them as you can.
And I say, as you wish. All right, cool. Off we go then. Not particularly to destroy goblins currently, however. We're gonna go over toward Bay Island. We're gonna ignore that beetle because we don't care about that beetle. But we want to get the mist color and mischief makers. But we also do want to get the sprites if we see them. There can be some over at the beginning of this little area that we're on right now. Not there. It doesn't seem at this time. But you know what? It's actually mischief makers, color mischief makers, sirens, not fairies. Mischievous fairies are fairies. But the mischief makers are going to be over here in the hospital. There we are. Right there. More right there. And so, more water fighting. Very exciting. That's what we wanted, right? One of 15. Boy, howdy.
How did you resist? How can this be? How did you resist?
Sirens are very much like fairies. They're like water fairies, so they have, I don't know, gills instead of wings. But otherwise, they're basically the same. They're very concerned about things like their appearance, I think.
This will be delightful.
That's how they strike. Got another 9 of them to knock out, it looks like. Fortunately, they don't take too long. They do this detriment here. Decreases strength and agility of encounter by 24. It's not a lot of fun because it decreases my DPS when they do that, of course. So I don't love it. Let me say that, but it's not terrible. I don't need these fabric patches. That's for the lore and legend. There's no real reason for me to put them up. Okay, this is Parse's check requisition 679. I don't know if I have done that one. Let's find out. It kind of feels familiar, but maybe not. Dark Paw Clubs. You know, I don't think I have them yet. And I think I do have. No, I don't. I don't have anything in the journal. So, I'll select. That'll have to wait. Alright, we'll move a little bit so we have that cherry patch here and there. We don't really need to deal with that, so. Oh, wait. Don't want to get a an extra guy involved, especially since he's full, as I suspected. I'll just get these two for the moment.
In death.
Seems like a grand plan.
Into the sea, and they know
Strand
only
of golden
these
hair. That is not a fairy or a siren or a legend piece, unfortunately. It's a body part. Oh, it's not a useful body part.
that resist.
11 out of 15 now, so only 4 more of these guys to go. Moving right along. At speed, no less.
In death.
Just checking because I know that my inventory is definitely full of. Ah, here's more spearfish. We don't need those anymore. Let's see about these mystic crinkles. Couldn't find any more of them. If we need to wait for a respawn, possibly. But okay, excellent. Here's one. In fact, see the area over here. Yeah, there should be a few more. Yeah, there we go. That's more like. We need, I think, 3 more, so I'm not going to be able to get all 3. Let's see here.
In this beauty, how did you resist?
But there's one more right there. And that ought to finish off. Halt. There's that. I do appreciate how the sound underwater is muted like when you're actually underwater. That's kind of cool. And now back up to the surface, and I'm going to put my sprite tracker back on. Because I still need some seamless sprites. And other than that, I do need goblins, but I'm not real worried about going out of my way to get those goblins right now. Just gonna go get my update with old Deputy Kiki. And then, let's see what else comes up that time. I guess I'll kill this drone as well. Why not? Why not? You know, I think I want to kill the fat fairy first. The drone is, not as interesting. Alright, so there's one more of those. I have 6 of 10 of the sprites. Now we gotta make our way back toward the pillow over here. In this little trailer here. Deputy Kiwi.
Well met.
He says, have you gotten rid of them? Have you? I say, are you sure they are the problem? He says, you mean there might be others out there? Oh no. Quick, quick, bar the doors. Lock the windows, help. And I say, never mind. Then I talk to him again.
Hello.
He says, I'm warning you, identify yourself to pay the oath in the class. And I say, it's me again, Deputy. He says, what is it? What are you reporting this time? I say, why are you so jumpy? Hey, Mr. Jelly, how you doing this morning? He says, you'd be jumpy too if your partner disappeared one day. Poof, gone. Those mist colors may not have got him, but something did. Just like something got the Jum-Jum. And I said, the Jum-Jum? He says, do you know who took it? The barrels, they're empty. All over the world, barrels are going empty. First, they're stealing the halflings, and now the Jum-Jum. It's the end of the world. The end. And I say, get a grip on yourself. I'll see what I can find out. Alright, examine Jum-Jum barrels around the Enchanted Lands. I'll start in the lost village of Bobek. Not yet, I won't. Think right now what I'm going to go do is check on some more of these sprites. Mr. Jelly says, not bad, thank you. How about you? I'm doing pretty well, Mr. Jelly. I'm fairly tired, but I'm powering through it. Otherwise, I did just get level 42 Swashbuckler a little bit ago. Don't have any good gear to put on yet, but that'll be dealt with in due time. Maybe by the time I'm level 50, I'll have it. Thank you. And otherwise, I've just been working through some of these quests over here at Enchanted Lands. Leisurely, very casually doing so. But I should go and talk to Squire Rustbucket near the mill by the brook. Let's see her. Near the middle by the brook. See if we can locate Mr. Rustbucket. Now, Mr. Rustbucket is Mr. Tatter's buddy. Mr. Tatters is the scarecrow. Over, let's see, over here. No, over here. There we go. Got another piece of that. The wall collection, which is always nice. This journal is, as usual, full. So, I won't be grabbing that quest quite yet, unfortunately. But I will be grabbing this shiny. So far, so good. I'm really inventory. And there's a running eye scout we may as well grab since he's here. That's Deputy Huck. What is his name? Deputy Huck Bar. I thought that was right, but then I questioned it. Let's see. Now, there are some things in there. This is Deputy Jumbo. Mill by the brook. There's another quest up there. Let's Gully Shank. I'm getting attacked by some feral lashers. Yeah, what the heck? What the heck? I feel like I've gone past it. Well, there's the Jum-Jum. I guess maybe we go back and get that. I'm just gonna run through everything in the world apparently and won't pay the slightest bit of attention to where I'm going. That's what seems to be the operating procedure at the moment. There. Run that off the easy way. What we need is going to be over here. I think that what one of those. Because. See now? Okay. This is obviously incorrect, too. Well, that's a shame. There's a disturbed corpse. That means that there were some rainbow lights over there at some point that got, somebody used it and then, must have become, they got the right combination to get themselves a disturbed corpse. Oh no. Managed to get a pair of lash on me today. Okay. Climb speak to square rest bucket. Near the middle of the brook. Alright, we have the greenery. We have. Okay. Where would a rest bucket be? I can almost remember. And I can't quite. Like he's, I could just look around on the map and find him, but that seems, that seems too easy. This is the greenery, so there's the mill. Oh, you know what? Let me know. Let me try this route. First, we're going to try grabbing this. We may not be able to because these guys just may keep interrupting us. I'm going to give it a good solid shot though. Any plans for today? Not especially. I'm just messing around here currently in the Enchanted Lands, trying to clear out some quests. How about you? If you need any help with anything, I've got probably another 50 minutes or so to mess around before I need to go get some stuff done. I could probably just kill these guys faster and then get the part I want instead of just continually trying to get it and getting interrupted. So many of them. That's craziness. He is unstunned, so we'll probably better try to knock him off. Farsi's Rick 825. Let's see now. And that is 679. So where on earth did it go? And I'll just click it from this window. And so it would be Grove Badgers. I think that's something I've done, so I'll keep it along. And yet another shiny over there. Alright, so where are we? Mostly goblins. And it doesn't matter what kind. Jam gun barrels, rust bucket, seamless sprouts. Guess I ought probably, while I'm in this area, to go check on the seamless sprouts. Because they spawn over here. Mr. Jelly says, nice, nothing exciting. I want to try and do Nick Castle tonight at some point. That's a long shot, probably. Well, I would be willing to go along into Nick Castle with you, but I would not have time to do it right now. I mean, I could go in right now, but I couldn't do the whole thing right now, for sure. Because, as mentioned, I have probably, at this point, another 45 minutes or so before I'll have to run off for a while. I could potentially do it later on when I get back, but I'm not 100% sure. You're level 30-ish, right? Mr. Jelly says it's cool. Honestly, it's one of those things it's almost impossible to commit to. You know what it is it's all the unlocking of the doors that's the issue, you know? Because it's just okay, so when you go in, you have to have like certain, oh, good job, 32. It's a perfect level for getting your gear upgraded. But, you kind of have to have some sort of a goal in mind, like, okay, I'm gonna unlock, the library door. I'm gonna unlock, the sisters' rooms, you have to have some kind of mini goal unless you want to spend hours in there. And every time you go in and unlock a little bit more, then you can get a little bit further the next time. I do still have some quests in there, and I will have to go back in later for some heritage quests as well. But I don't mind doing it. It's a neat zone, honestly. I think you do have to kind of do it in the right order, or you can mess up some things. But, that's okay. But I'll probably still have to go in there a good number of times by the time I was said and done.
Dreams of death to you.
figured I may as well get some of these dark lights knocked out. Yeah, and the real other issue to Neck Castle is that there's a lockout timer on it. So you get in there and you do a little bit of it, and then you get locked out for a while before you can get back in. So it makes it where you kind of hesitate to go in if you know that you may not have very much time. It's like Death's Citadel, which I haven't done yet on this server and also need to get over there and do. Yep, we used to plan it in a week in advance to go do it and we'll go. Yeah, that's a possibility, but the problem is that some of the names that you need for some of the quests are not always necessarily there. The Swine mode comes to mind, and of course there's also the incarnations of Billy and the Master of the Puppets. And so it's not always possible to do it in one go. Then there's also quests like Portrait of Destiny, that I think that's the name of it anyway. Portrait a family portrait. That's what it's called. And you can only pick that up at a certain point, and if anything goes wrong, and the personal attendant does not go and put the picture up, then you can't pick that quest up. So it's like there's certain things that it's very difficult to manage to do the whole thing in one go, and a lot of it is just if the stars align. Unless you just mean unlocking all the bits of it in one go. I'm over here trying to find the ether ones and put them for this quest. It's the be Stolen Goods quest, which you just have to get these fairies, these dark flat fairies, until you get the update. So depending on essentially how lucky you are, it may take a long time, or it may be very quick. Let's see, there's more the HQ side. There's more for the HQ side for buildies. I love Despot Citadel. Can't wait to get back there, you say. Yeah, well, okay, so now my understanding is that Death's Citadel is a little bit broken right now on this server, and that one of the characters that you have to kill, one of the NPCs you have to kill, in order to open one of the doors, is currently inside that door. And so the only way to unlock that door and progress is if you have someone who can AoE through the door and get him to aggro on. So it's not like broken in that you can't do it at all, but it's broken in that you have to have some way to pull him through that door. And I don't think that that's been fixed yet, as far as I'm aware. That and Vital Marin's brother, man. I tell you what. That guy's probably gonna see me. It's gonna be a shame, too. These guys can see so far if they're facing me. But I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna keep running. Go get this shiny. You gotta keep your eyes on the prize in this game, you know? We got another one over there, by the way. Evil Eyes have a lore and legend quest. It's just very, very slow to update. You know what? I'll go ahead and kill this guy because he's a non-heroic. Why not? May as well get him while I'm in the area. That guy, though, he's a heroic. We hate him a lot. So, there we go. As expected, not a lore and legend piece. They don't drop their parts very often. That's the main thing with them. It's unfortunate. We don't need to mess with the heroic guys, that's for sure. But there's a warmonger, and those are regular kind of fellows. I think there's a bunch of them in this area. So I might clear out some of this goblin quest right here. With a little bit of care. But wait. That's okay. He's just a regular, not a little thing, so I'll take it. It's fine. No problem. Feeding upon these little detriments. Very sad. Get a little bit of health back before we jump into the next phase. Alright, good enough. Now, two can play this game here, fella. Stuns and whatnot are just not a lot of fun. There's the sludge creep. He's fairly nasty. Gonna grab this guy while he's over here. The goblins are are interesting. What they say and do. They're interesting. This one just called me ugly. I don't know if you saw that. This is really ugly. That's all they are. It's the kind of guys they are, you know? Doing that and doing this kind of thing to me. Gun's target. I don't like it. He tried to again, but that time I was able to stun him instead, so not this time though. That was a heal who did. Invocation right off the bat. You see that? And he was too far away for me to interrupt because being a scout, getting limited on the range of just all of my spells. That was a heal he was trying to cast. So if you don't know, if you look underneath the name of the enemy, it will show you if they're casting a spell. There'll be a spell bar underneath their name, just like there is for you when you cast a spell. You get a spell bar, they get a spell bar too. Alright, so far, I haven't killed very many of those. I better watch out because that one is a bullet. Like this one that I have targeted, but the other one that's attacking me right now, that guy right there that you see the detriment thing, he is a heroic. We don't want him. But he's going away now, and there's a non-heroic over here from whence he came. Ooh, but we're not gonna go because. Okay, there we go. I like this one, but I don't like that one, so I'm gonna get some hits on him this time. And then get rid of the other one. And just have this one left. If you have hit them and you have hate with them, then they'll chase you further than if you have not hit them. So, if you're fighting, something else comes and attacks you. As long as you do not hit the thing that comes and attacks you, you can run and run off the new thing without running off the old thing. Aha, put her in a group. It's very nice.
Wait.
I think it's funny that you're fighting these fairies and you're supposed to, believe you believe that you are a hero, right? And then they are yelling out for help and saying, "We need a hero." You would think like, I don't know, you might not feel so good about yourself when you're in a fight with something and the thing you're fighting. He's yelling out for a hero. Apparently it doesn't bother you hearing Kinos though in this Nora in general. Characters are perfectly fine with it. It's like, oh well, okay, it's okay that they're calling out their hero because they're the bad guy. See what we're missing about the history of our characters in this game. The first portion of their adventure career before they really get into this whole saving North business is the conditioning that had to have gone on prior. This quest goes a little bit easier when you're in a group and you can just like run from one of these groups of heroics to another. When you're doing it individually, it's like, okay, I've got to find the non-heroic ones so that I can kill them at pace and take them one at a time. I mean, I could actually take more than one of the non-heroics at a time, obviously, but typically they're few and far between. There's one right over here, though. They don't seem, they're not grouped up as well because, they're not in groups. There are a lot of them, they're just not very close together. Still have a little room and no bags, so all is well.
How did you do that?
Well, great skill and dexterity. That's how I did that, fairy lady. I'm also surprised. Got a couple of non-aggro advisors over here. I'm gonna come take them out. Well, one, at least. Non-aggro and not rogue. Also a vital point. Because there is another advisor, but he is rogue. We don't want to die a terrible death. Right now. Need to be able to at least put up a good fight. Going to, Get ourselves go.
How did you do that?
We get a few more goblins, but not those ones, I suppose, since they're quite rude. Maybe there will be some other ones over here, there. Moving on. Oh, there's another badger, so hey, let's get that knocked out. So, Mr. Jelly, what are you up to at the moment? Alright. And now, we go update the food. Way over there. I thought for a second I was running in the wrong direction. But no, I'm doing okay. Booby's a little goblin. We lost some wizards here. It's not great for him. What I'm gonna do is just run, and then hopefully I'm gonna run and feign over here. So I don't have to do all this dodgy bit. Here we have Queen. Stop to him. He says, "Do you have the monocle? I've been waiting forever for you to get back." I say, "I have it right here." He says, "Great. I didn't have much luck finding the silver hoop." And I say, "You could have been looking for it instead of waiting for me." He says, "Yeah, well, I remembered that I had the hoop last when I was running by a lake. It must have fallen into the water. I'd go in after it, but I would have to hold this bag, you see. If I set the bag down to go into the lake, someone would steal it." And I say, "Ironic, isn't it?" He says, "I don't know what." Never mind. You go look for the hoop, and I'll go look for the platinum raincloud medallion. Those are the only two things still missing. Oh, there's one more thing. I think I saw a big fish eat the hoop when it fell into the water. Hope you like fish guts. I sure do." And I say, "This better be worth it." Now, that's talking about Chomper over there in the water. There's also a quest here. Ah, my journal is full. It's a sad day. Yeah. Gonna not get the quest after all. Big plans. Here. Talbot Farms. Martha has gone very quickly. Alrighty. Let's see. Goblins. What all do I have here? Chum barrels and loads of clover. Goblins. Chomper is gonna be in this lake here, but I'm not gonna fight him by myself. I'll tell you that right now. All the rest but we're the mill about the brook. It's not springing mind where that guy is. Soon as sprites and enchanted lands run both. Yeah, those are gonna be toward the beach. Alright, so this is the lake where Chomper is. I'm not going to, as mentioned, I'm not going to fight him, but let's see if he's here. He doesn't seem to be. He'd be in here if he was. And if you want to, get him, you can just go kill a lot of those things. There's also a shiny that is in this rock right here. I also see that we got an ad break at the moment. So I'm going to stick those sprites back on track. No luck so far. Could just clear some of these fairies to get them to spawn in the right areas, Like these ones. Not that one. I think that one may not spawn anything, but some of these ones will. Let's go get this shiny over here. There's a seamless sprite also. But the seamless sprite is secondary to the shiny. I only need 2 more of those sprites, and then I'll have that quest knocked out. You can pick up some of these other things that are here and there scattered around. Now, if you're in this area gathering, be careful. There's a fellow named Burnspear who spawns over here. He's a very aggro named Wasp. So try to take care in that regard. Let's see her. That's where Captain Garshink is. This is Sewer Beaver. Those are not the ones that I'm looking for. Except for the jump that he's talking about. Take out the little gate there. This is Bootstrapper's Trail Guide. I should pick that up, but again, I don't have room right now in my journal. Sad times. So that'll be a no. We do have. No, that's that. It's not what I'm looking for here. That right there is a collectible that you can grab. Let's see, where are we? Let's see. Napo says, for some reason, if not somebody to be getting AA experience from the quest. The AA you have. That's the question, isn't it? The first question. Oh, look, shiny rainbow lights. Alright, we got bright white, bright red, dim white. What are we gonna get? The ruined ancient bangle, or a scrying stone. Well, let's go see. I think I'll get the ruined ancient bangle. We got brilliant blue, bright blue, and soft blue.
Seek death, and it kills you.
Disturb something. It has only 21 AF. Makes sense. Alright, this time we've got dim green, brilliant red. Hey, good morning, everyone, Kenobi, and dim green. Begin the search. Nothing interesting. All sad. Now we've got dim green, soft white, and brilliant green. This time we found an ancient silver coin or a scrying stone. We'll do the ancient silver coin. Now we've got bright white, soft white, dim red, and for more clues, nothing interesting. Bright blue, brilliant blue, dim blue. Now we have found a book. Excellent. Exactly what we wanted it to be. Uh-oh. I might go think. Let me shut up. What do I fix that issue? And then figure out which books we have and don't have of the neophyte standard training tone variety. Let's go up to the start here. We have marshals, harkness, diviners, marshal, harkness, and diviner. Another marshal. Okay, so martial arcanists, diviners. So we don't have the outriders. Let's get that. There we go. More cool Braymore. Taking small steps around and trying to find another game. But no, looks not like it's happening. Well, that's a shame. Here I am. Wandering rat. Like a chicken with my head cut off. Also halfway trying to think about, oh, there we go. There's the tiny bugger burrow in far front. That's a good thing. Happy Sunday to you as well, Quad. How's it going for you so far today? Cereed's Sanctum in Far Shrine right there. What else we got over here? See if we can kind of not get attacked by all of this. Quad says, I'm grateful for plumbers with professional tools. Nice to tell you my morning went. You know what? That would be nice. I've always had to be my own plumber thus far. And I gotta tell you, it's not exciting. Not even a little bit. Well, we have to go to the Misty Line also. That's going to be here, where there's a shiny side that I mentioned before. We'll talk about them. I don't know though if this is the one or not. What I do know is I have been in here recently trying to get a shiny or a particular location, and did not go well for me. You say that. Try it again. Oh, worked that time. Now, see if I can get out of here before I'm dead. Sure could. Alright, Quad says, I don't own a snake, and the one we used was extra heavy duty. You can actually rent one fairly cheaply. The plumber snake, like a very good one, and last time I did it, it wasn't bad at all. And normally, if you can find a spot, you can get it relatively cheap. Also discovered there's no main travel now, so I just decided not to put one in. Go Texas. Now, you know, a lot of times it depends on when a house was built. So, like my house, the base of my house was built in the 1800s, so like the late 1800s. There's a lot of stuff I don't have. Here's a 10-year-old house, man. Sounds like they did that one on the cheap, huh? Keep inspectors got some I actually don't want that goblin turtle in my country. I had actually forgotten that these are goblins that are on the beach and that they're not heroic. They'd have gotten that goblin quest done a lot faster the first part of it. This goblin's gonna come on me, but I don't really mind. And these guys aren't particularly difficult generally. I just don't want to get the whole bunch of them at once. The fact that this guy is not dead yet means to me, I wonder if I have any poisons. I do have poisons. But for some reason, the auto consume is not on. Let's fix that issue. Okay, so that's all the fog criminal and all the goblins that I need for that quest. I can go back to Sarmacine Villas, may as well. Singe Villas, actually, as I have discerned. Because she'll have another repeatable for me, and I may as well grab it now. Napo says, just finished another quest and no AA movement. That's interesting. I wonder. Let's see. It's closest soft blue. Soft white. Dim white. We got a disturbed corpse. Looks like we got an ad starting in 43 seconds. It says I got sidetracked yesterday playing Daisy with my old squad, so I only went up to the levels on my ranger needs me too. Yeah, you mentioned the Daisy thing the other day. I think I had asked if it was, I mean, it sounds like a zombie thing. Bright green, bright blue, dim white. Yeah, another disturbed corpse. Amazing. Amazing. Zombies are a foundational part, yes. I assume so. Sounds like, what, is it a shooter type game, probably? Shoot 'em up, zombies. Survival. That's my guess. Claude says, but the way we play the game, they're really just innocent bystanders. Yeah, I see. So you can have PvP type situation going on. Base game is an open world survival crafting game. You also get sick break the game. Get cold, get wet, have to solve problems by making a fire, taking all your clothes off and drying them. Okay, you get sick, break bones. See, I was reading that as you get sick, break bones, like sick, like if it's a good thing. And I was like, that's weird. But no, I gotcha. Get sick, break bones. Gotcha. Promise. Um, so we took that game that simulated a lot of the experience of being a human and basically decided to do like skit plays. Okay. You make a server, advertise it as a role-playing server, and people make up characters in their head and act them out in game on the server. I see, I see. Alright, we got this update with Sarma.
Thank you for
She's
your
just...
help. Please take this in return for your hard work. Do you think you can help me some more?
Sure, I'll help you again. And you'll notice that the amount of money paid by these things goes up as you do them. So that was 29 silver. This one is at least 55 silver.
Excellent! You worked hard to kill all of those goblins. But we need to make sure they don't regain their foothold.
And I say I shall return when they're destroyed. Now, Quad says it's a good way to collaboratively tell a story, and it creates some really funny moments. I see, I see. Ah, seamless sprites. Let's not forget about those, like I did. And Quad says it's a pretty niche way to play video games. Yeah, there used to be a pretty big role-playing community in Everquest, too. You don't see that as much anymore as you once did, but at one time, you could just run into people who were very much acting out their character, whatever their character was. Very, very interesting from my perspective as a non-role player. So, Clyde says a fellow role player from Denmark told me one day, you're grown adults pretending to be other people in video games. You can't take yourself too seriously. Right here. Welcome back from the ads.
I will kill to protect this land.
Ah, it looks like I'm being called away to do my real life duties. So, I will probably be back on within an hour or so, I believe. So hopefully I'll be able to chat with you guys then. It's been a pleasure streaming with you, and we'll see you hopefully in an hour or so. For now, I guess I better get over here and sign on. Alright, have a good time while I'm done. If you're not following me yet, be sure to do that so that you can turn on notifications and see when I go live. Hopefully, I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.